Hello, it's Steve Mills here and welcome to my Results Podcast. Those of you who are new, thank you for being here. Those of you who've been here before, welcome back and looking forward to sharing with you some more tried, tested and proven ways in which you can grow your business. Now, today I wanted to talk to you about making offers. One of the biggest mistakes that I see in business is businesses not making enough offers. You gotta make offers. If you want to win business, you've got to make offers. The question is, how many offers are you making? I see people and hear people telling me that they post once a month or once a week on Facebook and LinkedIn. Don't do anything on YouTube. They don't do anything on Twitter. They don't ever connect to people. They don't ask people to connect. And in other words, their strategy just doesn't work. You know, their social media plan doesn't work. I hear others telling me that, you shouldn't send too many emails out because you don't want to be too pushy. Yes, you do. You want to win as much business as you can. And so sometimes you need to be pushy. Not in a really aggressive sales way. I don't mean that. But what I do mean is you should always be making offers. If any of you have seen my social media posts, be it on LinkedIn or Facebook or anywhere, you'll know that most of the time, when I say most, I'm going to say it's just about always, I will make an offer. You know, I'm doing a podcast right now. Do you think there's a remote chance that at some point on this podcast, I'm going to make an offer? Of course there is. If you go back over all my podcasts, I think pretty much I can say exclusively, and I think we're now up to number 208, at some point during that podcast, I've made an offer. I've said, look, and it could be just a freebie. I've said, look, go to my website, download this free report all about Google AdWords. I've said, go and watch this video of mine on YouTube. That is an offer. It's an offer which, why am I doing that? I'm doing that to try to make sure that I build my relationship with the people on my podcast or on my email or on my social media and so on and so forth. So, I don't know how many offers you're making. I don't know how many posts you're doing. I don't know how many emails that you're sending out. But what I do know is that the chances are, based on 25 years of my experience working with small businesses, is that it's nowhere near enough. You should be doing a phenomenal amount more than you're doing right now. And you say, well, I don't know what to say. You need to get some training. You think, I've planned this out. I've spent hours and hours preparing this podcast. Absolutely not. To be honest, I'm winging it. Maybe that's coming across. I don't know. But I've been doing this long enough now to know that, really I can do this just based on my experience. And if you're an expert in your field, whether that's landscape gardening or international tax law, you could probably do the same thing. It's just a matter of doing it. As Nike said, just do it. So, make those offers. When? All the time. No, not necessarily every time, but I'm going to say virtually all the time. Let's put it that way. I pretty much do it all the time, though. Now, how do you do it? That's another important question. What you don't want to do is just do offers. Again, I see that on social media where people go, do you want to buy this? Do you want to buy that? Do you want to buy the other? Do you want to buy that? And I'm just thinking, do you know what? No, I don't really, because they're trying to sell to me too early. And sometimes it's too early to make that sale. So, excuse me again, my belief is that you should be trying to, yes, you're going to try to make the sale, but you're going to wrap the offer in content. Wrap the offer in content. What do I mean by that? I mean that you follow this system. This is how to do it. Okay? Firstly, number one, you're going to position yourself as the expert. So, hi, my name's Steve Mills. I've spent 25 years in marketing. I've worked with thousands of businesses in hundreds of industries, and I've helped them to make literally millions of pounds of additional unforeseen income. That's positioning me as an expert. Step two is I'm going to tell people about what this, whether it's a blog post, whether it's a video, whether it's a social media post, whether it's an email, I'm going to tell them what it's about. So I might say something like, today I want to talk to you about Google AdWords, pay-per-click advertising on Google, and whether you should be using that in your business. So if that's of interest to people, I've sort of hooked them in. You with me? I've hooked them. I've positioned me as someone worth listening to, and I've positioned what I'm talking about as something that could or should be of interest to them. I then sort of go off at a tangent. What I mean is I'd say something like, before I tell you about Google advertising, let me just tell you about a free report that I've written. It's available on my website. If you go to a website page called Resources, there's loads and loads of free resources on my website. And by the way, my website is steve-mills.com. So if you go there, you can down a free report all about Google pay-per-click advertising. So I'd strongly recommend you do that. Now, where was I? I'm going to give you my 5 keys to Google pay-per-click advertising. So I then go in there and I'm going to give those 5 keys. So, you know, if you want them, I might as well give them now, hadn't I? I think it might be useful to you. Okay, so if you are thinking of doing Google advertising, then the first thing you need to do is make sure that before you start anything, you focus on the landing page, getting the landing page right. You don't want to be sending a load of traffic, costing you a load of money to a page that doesn't convert. So the most important thing is the page. Number 2 is to start small. Start small. Don't invest the ranch on something that may or may not work, because it's a little bit like riding a bike. At first, you might not get it right, so you need to practice and train, which is step 3. Get yourself trained in how to do this, and make sure that you're not just, you know, if you do this badly, or even if you do it averagely, you're probably going to just literally throw a load of money down the loo. So make sure you're good at this before you get started. Number 4. Consider that the old saying that the headline is the advert for the advert. So when you're doing your ad, make sure that your advert is as good as possible, and that's again a really important thing. And then last of my five tips for pay-per-click advertising is make sure that you focus your page on relevancy. Google has something called click relevancy. So the more relevant your page is to the keywords that you're using, the further your budget's going to go, because they'll reduce the cost per click. Now, how much you pay for somebody to click to go to your website varies enormously dependent on this factor. So there are 5 tips, and you'll find loads more in my ebook. So you get the idea. And then what I'd probably do is pitch again at the end. So I might say something like, I hope you enjoyed my 5 tips. If you want to get loads more tips, then don't forget to download the report at steve-mills.com. And that's a pitch, isn't it? You know and I do that when somebody downloads a report, why am I doing that? Well, I'm going to get your email address. I'm going to be able to communicate with you. I'm going to be able to follow up with you. I'm going to connect you on LinkedIn. I'm going to grow my database. and I'm probably going to pick up the phone and call you because, you're interested enough to download my report. So you might be interested enough to have a meeting and talk to you about pay-per-click advertising, or perhaps your marketing in general. Does this make sense? I really hope it does, and I really hope you'll do exactly that. Here's my pitch. I want to talk to you. I want to meet up with you. I want to arrange a Zoom meeting with you. Either of those things would be great. Call me, set up a meeting. If you go to steve-mills.com, you'll find a place on my website. If you click on one of the gold buttons, you'll be able to basically set up a meeting using my online diary. So you'll see when I'm free, when I'm not. You can set up that meeting according to a time that's great for you. So we don't have to mess about with, are you free then? No, well, let's do it another time. When are you free? Oh, I can't do that either. And we finish up spending hours and hours and hours trying to find a time that's good. No, let's not do that. Let's just go to my website and book a time that's good for you. So that's it. That's all I'm going to say on this particular podcast. I hope that was of value to you. Certainly giving you, I think I've given you a couple of good offers at least, and hopefully some real good content, some really good ideas to help you to take your business to the next level. So thanks ever so much. Don't forget to like and comment anything on my podcast. Go to my YouTube channel, sign up, subscribe to it, like it, click that little bell in the corner. Apparently that means you'll get notified when I do a new video, and they're always full of great content. And thanks very much for listening. Okay, bye then.